Hello everyone and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you two of my best tips for tomorrow's racing. Now before we get stuck into them, and also as well the quick recap on how today's selection performed, I just want to say that tomorrow in the late afternoon probably I will be releasing my staking video explaining about the new point system I will be using moving forward into 2021 with all our videos here on YouTube. A lot of people always ask me about my profit and loss. I always keep a running tally in the description box below, and I just thought I'd make a video moving forward and we can readjust things that will just make it a little bit clearer for you guys. So to not miss out on that video or any other videos coming up on my YouTube channel, just make sure you subscribe here to my YouTube channel at Lucky Loaders 15, and it means every time I upload a video you'll get a notification on your app or on your desktop, whatever platform you use to access YouTube. You'll get a notification saying that there's been a new video uploaded here on my channel. Also as well, if you're enjoying them, please remember to give us a thumbs up as well. I really appreciate all the support you give me. So enough of all that kind of stuff, let's get on to the racing side of things. Now we only had one selection for today's racing, which featured at Taunton in the 315, the stay and chase, and our nap and our only tip of the day was Eaton Miller, who ran a cracking race to finish in third place. We advertised him here on my YouTube channel last night at 8-1 each way, and he was there throughout, you know, up with the pace, forcing a nice steady gallop from the beginning, and in the end he was one of the last ones standing really, but it was just Johnny Farrelly's horse that just had a bit too much for him on the day, and there was quite a bit of money around for him, and you always have to take note from Johnny Farrelly's yard when the money's down. There's often a lot of market support behind their runners when they really fancy one. So yeah, that was definitely evident in the market today. And Eaton Miller was actually a little bit weak before the off because he had been well supported. We put him up at 8-1. I saw at one point he shortened up to 9-2 in some places, but he drifted back out before the off. But, you know, he still ran a cracking race, and if you took the final SP at 7-1, you would have got a nice run for your money, and if you backed him each way, as I recommended, you were slightly up on the day with that selection. So, yeah, not a bad day there, and hopefully we can continue the form we've been in the last couple of days. Yeah, Boxing Day wasn't great for us over the Christmas period, and also as well, I think it was Monday wasn't a particularly good day for us, but overall we just started to turn back a little bit, and in December really we've been in pretty good form, and for 2020 we're well up in profit for the last 6 months since I started back here on my YouTube channel after I was doing a lot more writing. But since I've moved back here we've done pretty good, I think. Obviously we've had a couple of rough months, it's been a little bit up and down the last couple of months, but going back to our form in the summer, we came out with loads of profit, most notably in September when we had that really good nap run. I think I had 16 nap winners in September, and not all of them were favourites. A lot of them were at some big prices too. So yeah, it's been a pretty good year, and hopefully we can continue that into 2021. But let's hope I should say we end on a high in 2020. So let's get into the tips then. For our first tip of the day tomorrow, the last next best of 2020 is going to be coming across the Irish Sea in the 105 at Punchestown with a horse called Envoi Pierji. I hope that's how you pronounce it. It's going to be ridden by Mark Walsh tomorrow, who's riding for Liz Doyle in the colours of JP McManus. Now this horse has a rating of 109, which I think looks very workable. And if you go back through some of the form of this horse, the last run at Ferryhouse in the Ladies National was definitely a really eye-catching run. I was actually on this horse that day around about sixes, and it was really well fancied before the off. If you watched the market support come for it, you would have thought that Connections obviously knew something, because he was really well fancied in the market. And to be fair, even though this horse was out the back for a long way and started to make up ground, you could definitely see it had plenty of ability. Since that performance when finishing third at Ferryhouse, the form has been boosted quite a bit by some of the runners in there. The second place horse Brayside has placed again since, and also as well the 6th and 7th place horses from those races have come out and won since. So it looks quite a nice piece of form on paper. Also as well, if you translate the chase form to the hurdles ability, sometimes it doesn't always match up, but this horse is still quite unexposed, I'd say, over fences, and he's got an £11 lower rating than his hurdle rating, so I think he's got a few pounds to play with here. Also as well, what's significant tomorrow is that he's going to be stepping up in trip quite markedly. It's going to be his first time tomorrow cracking the 3 miles, and I think he'll relish it by the way he shaped last time at Ferryhouse. So there's lots to like about this horse tomorrow. You can currently back him at the time of recording at 7-2. I think that's a fair price there, and I think if there is one horse in here that's potentially really unexposed and well ahead of their mark, or behind their mark I should say, it's got to be this lad in my opinion. And I think at 7-2 that's a fair reflection there, and I expect him to probably go off favourite come post time tomorrow. Could easily get down to possibly as short as 9-4. So yeah, that's going to be my next best of the day tomorrow, which runs in the 105 at Punchestown. We then end 2020 with my nap at Newcastle, which is where we started, funnily enough, back on June the 1st when the UK resumption of racing took place. And in the 250 at Newcastle tomorrow, we focus our attentions on the nursery, and I'm going to be going with Global Vision here for Paul Mulrennan and James Tate. Now you can currently back this horse at the price of 5-2, which was available with Bet365 and William Hill. Now this horse, Global Vision, was a little bit unlucky, I thought, the last day. Didn't quite get the clearest of passages at Wolverhampton when sticking on quite strongly, and when he did get a gap he was staying on quite strongly, and he hit the line really strong as well. So yeah, I think he was a bit unlucky last time, and tomorrow they're going to be applying cheek pieces to this fella, and I just think it might be able to put his mind on the job a little bit more. He does look a little bit of a quirky type. However, I think he has been improving every single run, and the way the race might set up tomorrow, there's going to be a lot of front runners in here. I can see the Mark Johnson horse being up there setting the pace, and also as well Dave Evans' horses like to get on with things in the past, and there's one or two others as well that will probably be handy. If this lad can just track the pace, I expect it to possibly collapse tomorrow, and if he can be just behind them, I think he might be able to come with a good turn of foot and put the race to bed. This isn't a particularly strong nursery as nurseries go, you know. Obviously there are a couple of winners in here, and yes, there are some maybe progressive types, but I think this lad is just taking him a few runs to get to the boil now. And James Tate as well, his yard are going along quite nicely. They've only had a small team on the all-weather season so far, but in the last fortnight they've had 2 winners from 6 runners, so they're operating at a 33% strike rate, and I just think the race could be very well set up for this fella tomorrow. And I think at 5-2, I think he's got a favourite chance of going very close. So Global Vision it is to round off 2020 with us here, and hopefully we can end the year on a high. So quickly just recap through the 2 tips there. In the 105 at Punchestown, Envoi Pierji is the next best at 7-2 win only bet, and then in the 250 at Newcastle, the nap, Global Vision, we go with him there at a 5-2 win only bet. So yeah, they're the 2 tips for tomorrow's racing. Like I said at the top of the show, if you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the subscribe button here to my YouTube channel at Lucky Loaders 15. If you're enjoying these videos as well, please remember to hit the thumbs up button. If you want to follow me on social media, the best place to do so is on Twitter, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to find out a little bit more about myself, a little bit more about my career in racing as a racing journalist, my website is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.